Welcome back, guys, to episode 3 of the Gold Stripe Podcast. It's great to be here for the third week.
Yeah, absolutely.
A big week this week, Super Bowl edition. Mm-hmm. All the stuff today is basically revolving around the Super Bowl. We got looking forward to the Super Bowl. You know, some of the keys of the game. We got some top 10 Super Bowl related.
Yep.
We got the College Challenge. It's back, and it's Super Bowl edition.
It is Super Bowl edition. I got a mixture from both teams, players. We're trying to figure out where they went to college, James.
Yep. All right, it's going to be a fun one. So before we start and kick this off, let's get a quick prayer in, and then we'll be off to it. Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I just want to thank you for this opportunity we have today to have this podcast and just have good, genuine conversations with each other, Lord. We appreciate the opportunity that we have today, Lord, and please let this podcast be an influence on other people and influence other people to you. And we thank you for all that you've done. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I mean, before we get started, we got to let the people know. We got a special guest in the back, Mike Waterford. He's watching us today.
Production manager.
Yeah, well, he's hired for the day, but we'll see how he does.
All right, so first, looking forward to the Super Bowl. Obviously, big news in the sports world right now. Mm-hmm. Let's start off with you. What are you looking forward to?
It's a rematch that we had a few years ago that we saw Patrick Mahomes win the Super Bowl, the Chiefs. But I think this time, it's the 49ers game. Like, I saw an edit for Kyle Shanahan. It was like the first Super Bowl they were playing against is like, yeah, we're gonna win, and this one's like, we are going to win. Like, I feel like they're a lot more of a determined team now. They've been here, like they've tasted what it's been like this being a Super Bowl, but now they're hungry for it. So I think they're gonna have, like, the Chiefs, like, they've had a great run this postseason. If we're looking back at the beginning of the year, like, you would not have thought that he was going to be here. But now they're here. But I think this is where it stops. 49ers just have a lot more of a stacked team. So I'm seeing right now it's a 59% chance win for the 49ers, which I think it should be. But I think overall it's going to be a good game. Two great teams, two good quarterbacks. Like, it's going to be a good one.
Two great teams, two great quarterbacks, and one great singer going to be there.
Okay. All right.
That's one thing, I'm not looking forward to. All the Taylor Swift hype. What can you do? Not her fault, but it's going to be annoying. But
yeah,
what I am looking forward to is this great matchup because, we got one of the greatest quarterbacks. Could be. People are saying it, even though I think it's a little overhyped, but of all time.
Yeah. If Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, this is like LeBron's 2018 run with a bum Cavs team, and he took them all the way to the finals.
When you're saying Rashid Rice is your best target, Kelsey, he's really come out of his shell at the end of the year, but he has not been the same guy as he's been.
Yeah.
So, he's carrying big time. But that defense is kind of carrying.
Mahomes had to go through what? He had to go through a hot Dolphins team. Mm-hmm. Then they had to beat the Bills away.
On the road, yeah.
In those conditions. Then they had to beat, who'd they just beat?
The Ravens.
The Ravens on the road. Another great team. And then they have to beat probably arguably the best team in the league, the 49ers.
Yeah.
So, like, if that doesn't strike you as, like, one of the greatest postseasons of all time, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's really, I don't want to say it's a miracle because, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. He's going to make plays. But it's shocking that they're at this point.
Like, you saw, like, Tom Brady, he had weapons pretty much his whole career when they were making those.
Oh, yeah.
I lost the words.
Playoff runs?
Yeah, when they're making those runs. But, like, they weren't, at the time, people didn't really think of them as, like, superstars. Like, they were just made in that Patriots facility. Like, they were brought up. Whereas, like, 49ers, dude, like, they have George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, who's a rising star, Brandon Ayuk, who's starting to become a star, Deebo Samuel. Like, this is a stacked team. The Chiefs this year, they don't have anybody. They have Pacheco and Travis Kelce. But Travis Kelce, I would arguably say, is their second best player right now.
Yeah. Pacheco, he's kind of come out of his shell this year, and he's really made the team who they are right now. They're they're not a run-first team, but they're running the ball well. And when they run it, he's getting yards. He runs with a vengeance.
Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying about the 49ers, what I like about the 49ers is those superstars they have. They're all tough, like hard-nosed, hard-working guys. And that's going to be hard to beat, especially in the playoffs when they have something to prove.
Yeah.
I mean, you got George Kittle, who, I mean, I watched a video of him the other day standing on the sideline saying, "I'll be back."
Yeah.
In that last Super Bowl. And he's a guy who's got something to prove. CMC, he wants to win. He didn't have that at the beginning of his career. Brock Purdy's got something to prove, Mr. Irrelevant. These are all guys who want to go get it. I can't wait to see what they do.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one for sure. Like, just the storyline itself, like the rematch. They played each other a few years ago in the stage, and it's gonna be a good game, especially in Vegas. Unfortunately, Taylor Swift will be there, but SpongeBob will be performing before the game, so it's all good.
All right, I didn't know that. Now I'm looking forward to that.
You didn't know that? He's singing there. I forget the song name, but they did it like at the halftime on one of the shows.
That's funny. All right, so we're moving on to keys to the game. I'll let you start off again. What are the keys to the game for both teams?
I think, honestly, the Chiefs have a lot more in their hands than the 49ers do defensively. For the Chiefs, like they have to stop so much. Like, I mean, you have to stop Christian McCaffrey in the slot at back, like, and then you have to stop Deebo Samuel at slot, outside. I mean, sometimes he's at back. You got to stop George Kittle, who's at tight end. You got to stop Brandon Ayuk. Like, there's just so much you have to stop. I think the Chiefs are capable of it. We've seen. I mean, they locked up. I mean, the Ravens didn't have that great of weapons too, but they had good enough weapons that they should have scored a lot more than they did.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs handled them pretty well. So I think that's definitely an interesting storyline coming into this game too. Another thing for the 49ers, I mean, I think just got to get to the quarterback, like make Patrick Mahomes. That's what the Rams did. No. Who did they play? The Bengals. The Bengals did way back when they played the Rams in the Super Bowl. That AFC Championship game, the Bengals just kept getting to him, like, and keeping him moving the whole time. Like, don't let him get comfortable in the pocket. I feel like that's what Patrick Mahomes was like against the Ravens. Like, he was really comfortable in the pocket most of the game. So I think if you're able to just get him like out and moving, like, he's dangerous too moving, but I think he's a lot more dangerous in the pocket, like when he's able to just navigate everybody and organize that offense a lot more. Like, if you're hitting them every time, dude, like, it's gonna be a long game.
Yeah. I was actually going to go with almost the opposite direction with you on this one. With the 49ers, I think one of the keys to prevent Mahomes from scoring is making him uncomfortable, but you can't let him get out of the pocket and make extended plays. Because you want to get pressure, but you got to do your job. You got to keep your pass lane integrity and responsibility, because if he spins out, that's when your corners are in trouble. And that's when, I mean, the weapons aren't crazy, but Patrick Mahomes is going to throw them open.
Yeah. I think another, like, what worries me about the Chiefs is, like, I feel like if it's not the set, like, if it's not that normal timing that they have, like, I feel like they won't make those plays every time. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Patrick Mahomes isn't able to get it, like, 1, 2, 3, like, check his reads and stuff like that, and then get the ball in, like, if I feel like his playmakers won't be able to, like, except for Travis Kelce, like, he always manages to find a way to, like, slip in. But right now, like, even him, like, it's just a question mark for me.
Because they just don't have I feel like they don't have the chemistry that former, receivers have with Mahomes, just getting to the right spot and Mahomes knowing where they want to be.
Whereas, like, Brock Purdy, like, I feel like it's his game to lose, really. Like, he's been doing this the whole season. Like, he's had all of his weapons most of the season. So it's just going to be a long game for him to just be able to make plays with those playmakers. Yeah,
I agree. I think for the Chiefs, what they got to do is get interior D-line pressure. With Chris Jones has got to have a stellar day to get into Brock Purdy's face, because, as we know, the 49ers offensive tackles, they're studs.
Yeah.
They're going to protect him on the outside. I feel pretty confident of that. But if you can push the pocket up and get him on the inside and force Brock Purdy to go out instead of stepping up and making a throw, I think that's going to be tough for him.
Mm-hmm.
And if the team's going to do that, it's going to be the Chiefs. The Chiefs have very good interior defensive linemen.
Yeah. And
you need to pressure Purdy, but also you can't let him get confident.
Yeah.
You can't let him scramble around and get confident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like Patrick Mahomes is just gonna make plays. Like that's just him, especially on that stage. Like there's the meme of him like literally like sideways in the air flying around. Like he's just gonna make plays. Like that's what he does. But I mean, it's just gonna be like, can the 49ers push through and win the Super Bowl, or will the Chiefs reign supreme again and establish their dynasty with arguably the top 3 quarterback of all time already?
Oh yeah, I would say if he wins this one, for sure top 3.
So, but we'll see. I mean, it's going to be a good game. Then there's sure to be a lot of good commercials. I think, isn't it Usher is the halftime performance?
Yeah.
I mean, probably Taylor Swift will somehow manage to get in there. Like, it's just, but yeah.
Yep. It'll be a good one for sure. So we're going to move on to some top 10. We got a couple different categories. For me, I'm doing the best Super Bowl games of all time. Caleb, he's doing the best Super Bowl performances of all time.
Yeah.
Some of these guys have gotten slept on. I didn't know about some of these, but these stories are pretty cool. So let's get into it. I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to start at 4 and 5. Well, sorry, not 4 and 5, 5 and 6. This is kind of a tie here. Both these games came down to the wire. Last second plays. Could have been a touchdown for both teams. So the first one, so this is tied for 5, is St. Louis versus Tennessee. The 1 yard short game. I mean, 23-16, Tennessee drove down the field. They threw about a 10-yard dig at the 3 yard line. And this would have been to tie or win the game, and caught it, stretched out. It was just 1 yard short.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a crazy game. One of the best. And we got a more recent one. New England and Seattle. You know, New England 28, Seattle 24. The Malcolm Butler interception.
Yeah. I mean, how do you not run it with Marshawn Lynch? Like, still to this day, it baffles me. Like, you have probably the most dominant running back during that time.
Oh, for sure.
At the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's throw a slant. Like, it's a good play design, but not there. So
it was open, but it was just Malcolm. He made the play.
Sometimes the open play isn't the right play.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I just love all the videos, or like Marshawn Lynch, like in podcasts, and he's just like, and I got into the huddle, and everyone was looking around like, what are we talking about? We're not running it. And then he just craps on Pete Carroll every time. And it's funny. But all right, moving on to number 4, Super Bowl 45. My team, the Green Bay Packers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, this was a classic. It had everything. It had explosive plays. It had turnovers. It had some defense. It did, but it had a comeback. So I'm just going to quick summary of the game. You know, the Packers went up 4-0 early. We had a Jordy Nelson deep ball on the first drive of the game, and had a pick six on the next play for the Steelers. So quick 14-0 lead. But the Steelers, you know, they're not going away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they came back with a quick field goal, and then they forced a punt, but the Packers picked off Big Ben again. So 2 picks in the first half for Big Ben. Not his best performance in the first half, but he came back a little bit. Aaron Rodgers drives us down the field, throws a dot to Greg Jennings, who got killed by Troy Polamalu, because he was an absolute beast.
Dude, Greg Jennings, I forgot about Greg Jennings until the other day. I was watching like highlights and stuff of like old Aaron Rodgers, because I miss old Rodgers. Like, he was probably one of my favorite players. But like watching him, Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, like Devontae Adams, like,
Yeah, watching that game gave me some nostalgia.
I miss Greg Jennings.
It was a thing of beauty.
Eddie Lacy.
Oh, yeah. Back before he got fat, though. All right, so the Packers, you know, up 21-3, but Big Ben takes the Steelers down right before half, throws a dime, just drives them down the field, gets a tutty. So beginning of the second half, Packers ball. This could be a time where the Packers, you know, go out and make that play to kind of put it away almost, stop the momentum. Not put it away, but stop the momentum that the Steelers have. But they forced a punt, and Rashad Mendenhall runs them all the way down the field. An unknown player for the Steelers, really. Not at the time, but like now.
Right.
21-17, but Clay Matthews, man, forces a fumble.
Clay Matthews, my gosh.
Yeah, man, that stud.
Was that AJ Hawk was on the
and
team
AJ
too.
Hawk, too.
Oh, my gosh.
That team was loaded. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers starts to cook a little bit, throws a nice corner route to Greg Jennings. And when Aaron Rodgers is cooking, he's not slowing down. There's nothing that's going to stop him. But, you know, the Steelers with Big Ben, they bounce back. Mike Wallace fade ball. So 28-25 with 7:36 remaining. So we go down. We hit a field goal with 2 minutes left. leaving the ball in Big Ben's hands. Big Ben legacy game right here.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it wasn't meant to be. The Green Bay defense holds on, and they get the victory. Aaron Rodgers wins MVP with 300 yards, 3 tutties, no interceptions. That was a classic game.
Yeah.
But that's nothing compared to the games that I got at 1, 2, and 3. All right. This one, oh my goodness. We had, first of all, a halftime show, amazing. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I mean, Tom Petty, you can't go wrong with the guy. But it was Super Bowl 42. New York Giants, New England Patriots. 17-0 versus,
Is this the helmet catch?
Yes. You're spoiling it, all right? Yes, Giants win 17-14. The Giants, it's more of a defensive-minded game. We had one of the best defense, arguably of all time, with the Patriots. That defense was loaded.
The undefeated Patriots at the time.
Undefeated. I mean, this was...
They were chasing history.
Yeah, this would have been the only time since, 1973 or something like that, with the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yep. So, they score. We got a 10-minute drive to start off the game. That just shows you what kind of game it's going to be. The Giants, 10-minute drive, only get a field goal. Then the Patriots respond, get a touchdown. There's like nothing the rest of the half. Just pure defense and hard-nosed football. Mm-hmm. But now we get to the second half. All right. So the Giants, they have the ball. They're in position to score. But at a 5-yard touchdown pass to David Tyree, gives the Giants a 10-7 lead. 11:05 left. This is Brady time. But they force a punt. Both teams force a punt. So Brady gets the ball back with 7:54. He drives the Patriots down the field and scores on 3rd and goal on a streak to Randy Moss. The corner fell. It's getting scary for Eli Manning. All right, 14-10 Patriots. 2:42 left. They have to get a touchdown. 4th and 1 at the 30. They barely get the first down on a run play. Clock's still running. And near desperation, all right, Eli Manning in the pocket. 2 Patriots players hugged all over him.
Mm-hmm.
Spins out of it somehow. Backpedals, throws it up for grabs. Boom, pins it on the helmet. Falls down. It was like a 30-yard gain. Got him to the 25-yard line. But the Patriots defense, they had multiple chances that drive to get a pick. They had like 3 chances. I was watching it today and hit the hands 3 times. But they're fighting. They have chances. They're just not making plays.
Mm-hmm.
But a fade ball from Manning to Burris for a touchdown. 35 seconds left, but Brady still has time. Giants D holds true after a couple drops by the Patriots. Get that W and stop the undefeated season.
Yeah.
Crazy game. Now we got this game was full of action. Not my number 2. Super Bowl 43. Pittsburgh, Arizona. Wow. I mean, you got first drive of the game, field goal. Then the Steelers go up 10-0 on a 7-minute drive. Here's the thing. This could have been a big momentum swing in the game here. Ben Patrick, he caught a ball, cuts the lead to 3, but then the Steelers get the ball back. But they're forced to punt, even though they had a huge punt return that put them inside the 50. So they gives the ball to the Cardinals. What do the Cardinals do? They drive all the way down the field at the end of the half. You think they're going to score, right?
Right.
Big James Harrison. No.
He's a big dude.
Huge. Big old number 92 drops back in coverage. Picks that sucker right off. Goes all the way down the field. Somehow gets in the end zone. I don't know how he did it.
Longest pick 6 of all time.
A big man pick 6 is crazy.
Not longest by yards. Longest by it took him a long time to get there.
My goodness. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, that just changed the whole momentum. So they went into half up a couple touchdowns. They go out in the second half. They're playing some good ball. 3:30 left in the third. Steelers get a field goal, so it's 20-7. Kurt Warner, though, he played like a dog in this game. Not a lot of people remember that, but he played real good. He throws a jump ball.
It was MVP Kurt Warner too, wasn't it?
I believe so. He throws a nice jump ball to Larry Fitzgerald. Touchdown. So they're back in it. They're feeling good. 3-and-out Steelers offense. The Steelers got pinned inside the 1-yard line on a punt. And safety from a holding call. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't.
And that changed the momentum of the game. They got the ball back. And first play, Larry Fitzgerald, 70-yard tutty. Gave them the 23-20 lead. Only 2:30 left. But Santonio Holmes, man. Big play, puts him at the 5. And then one of the greatest throws and catches in NFL history in triple coverage.
the pump fake too.
The pump fake.
And then Big Ben just sling that thing in there.
I mean, there was hands everywhere. Hands here, hands here. He
hit the
didn't
right
care.
ones.
He put it right where it had to be. Santonio Holmes dragged those feet, got the job done. Touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald had 2 touchdowns and 170 yards that game. Santonio Holmes, 131 yards and 1 touchdown. So it was a receiver-led game, but it was a good one. Real good one. And for number 1, New England versus Atlanta, the comeback game. I mean, the offensive and defensive line for the Falcons in this game in the first half was crazy. Brady was getting put on his butt every other play.
Mm-hmm.
They were just making a huge impact. Matt Ryan wasn't getting touched. But the second half,
MVP Matt Ryan.
MVP Matt Ryan, he played real good that year. But the second half wasn't the best, but it was better. But going into the fourth, I mean, with 10 minutes left in the fourth, it's 28-9. I mean, that's just crazy. The Patriots haven't really done much with their offense. They started to improve in the second half, but no one expected these guys to win. But a strip sack and a touchdown by the Patriots puts them right back in it. They got some confidence. But they drive the ball down the field, though. The Falcons, they're not giving up. Unfortunately, penalties, sacks, have to give the ball back to the Patriots. But the Patriots are inside their own 10. You got to feel confident there. But no. Julian Edelman, that catch. Wow. The tip
I remember
off
watching
the
that, and
dude's
I was like-
legs with like 3 guys on him.
I was like, there's no, like, he was like telling the ref, like, yeah, I caught that. I was like, there's no way he caught that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
just-
I was thinking the same thing.
like I wasn't even playing football at the time, and I was like, bro, like I wouldn't even said like I caught that, like that he didn't catch that. And then they showed the replay, and I was like, ain't no way.
Yeah, and then Patriots run it in with James White. They drive it down, run it in with James White, and game's all tied up. Well, they had to get the 2-point conversion. A screenplay, almost didn't get it. It was close. It could have been the end of the end of an error, really. It could have spiraled down. Who knows? But got to OT. Brady gets the ball first in OT. You know you're not getting the ball back. He just precision all the way down the field, absolutely diming them. And James White had another touchdown, won him the game. Brady, 466 yards that game with 2 touchdowns on 62 pass attempts. He threw the ball 62 times. James White, 3 touchdowns. 2 of those touchdowns to tie and win the game. So he played a big factor in that one. But yeah, that's my top 5.
All right. So I'm going to talk about my top 5 Super Bowl performances by a player or players in a game. So at number 5, we didn't talk about it, but Nick Foles, backup quarterback. Carson Wentz was arguably the best quarterback in the league. He was probably going to win MVP if he didn't get hurt in the last game of the season against the Rams. But Nick Foles, man, he just drove them through the playoffs. Like, it was just unbelievable. Like, you would be like, oh, they might win the first game. Like, they got a good team. Well, they won the first one pretty handily. And then the next week, we're like, oh, they won again. Or they're in the conference championship. Like, no way they're going to win again. Oh, they're in the Super Bowl. Okay, this is where it ends. Like, a backup quarterback can't win a Super Bowl. Man, he went out there and balled. Like, played like a pro. Like, play like he's been, like, doing this his whole life, like being a starter. Threw for 3 touchdowns and caught 1 on the Philly. So that's also probably up there for, like, I think it was up there for number 1, like, greatest Super Bowl plays of all time.
Oh yeah, I mean that's iconic.
Going up to coach, hey, we want Philly. Yeah. Was it Doug Peterson the coach?
Yeah, Doug Peterson, man.
Doug P. All right, and then number 4, I got Harvey Martin and Randy White as co-MVPs in Super Bowl 12.
Yeah, this one caught me by surprise a little bit.
The only co-MVPs in a Super Bowl ever. Martin and White combined for 8 turnovers in the game. That is
wow. What position they play?
They're just D-line. I didn't know where they played.
Okay.
I didn't look that far, but they're D-line together. Like, I think Randy White was an edge rusher, wasn't he?
I believe so.
Like, utter dominance.
Wow. 8 turnovers is absolutely
like, 8
crazy.
turnovers on a defense is like, yeah, that's a good game. 8 turnovers between 2 dudes is nuts.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. But yeah, you got to give some love to the defensive players.
Got to give them love. 2 co.
And they're not like,
MVPs?
it'd be one thing, it'd be like
Interior?
if a quarterback and a receiver, or a quarterback and a running back, like both had like a crazy game. Like 2 defensive players. Like, are we being for it right now?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy stuff.
Number 3, we got Desmond Howard, Super Bowl 31. This was for a specialties player. he got this because he had 244 all-purpose yards on special teams and a 99-yard tutty. Like, I mean, that's pretty dominant. Like for like special teams are going to make and break you games.
Oh yeah, it did.
And he took over in that. Like they could not stop him. Number 2, I got the first Joe Montana in Super Bowl 24, 5 tutties in the biggest Super Bowl blowout of all time. Like,
who'd they play?
I think they play the Broncos.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Man. 5 tutties. Like, that's
5 tutties in any game is crazy.
5 tutties in the Super Bowl is crazier. Like,
yeah.
They were just throwing up bombs. Like, yep, let's go see if he can get it. Touchdown. They're up like 55-0 at some point probably, but it was just it was a crazy game. Like Joe Montana, one of the greats.
Top three for sure, in my opinion.
Right now, you think he's gonna get booted out with Mahomes or
no? I got.
You got him at 2.
Yeah, I got him at 2. I got
so
Brady.
You got Brady,
Montana.
who's number 3?
Mahomes.
Mahomes is 3 already.
Look at the team he's got, man. I have a hunch he's winning the Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't want it to happen, but I just have a hunch.
Script.
It's the script. I don't know what to say.
Then at number 1, we got the real Joe, Broadway Joe Namath. Super Bowl 3. He guaranteed a win. It would be one thing if your team was like projected a win. He was going up against a really good Colts team led by Johnny Unitas in Super Bowl 3. Guaranteed a win, and they got that dub. And he was calling his own plays.
Really?
Called his own plays the whole game.
I didn't know they were allowed to do that back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And they got that dub. And now he's Broadway Joe. He's him.
Yeah. I mean, guaranteeing a win as an underdog
is crazy.
Take some nuts.
It wasn't like he was like, yeah, I'm confident we're going to win. I guarantee we win. We will win this game. Like, all right.
Let it ride. All right, that's your top 5.
Yep.
I like those. Those are all pretty good. I'm trying to think of some like Super Bowl performances that have been better, but I don't know. These are all pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I try to mix it up a little bit. Try to give some credit, some deep players.
Yeah.
Some safe, some special teams
because they don't get MVP. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
those dudes make huge impacts on the game.
Like some quarterbacks will do that. Like they did it the whole season. But like I was trying to look at sort of out of the ordinary.
I like it.
All right, so now we're gonna go on to a segment we talked about before, a couple episodes ago. Can James guess where they went to college? We're going to do this a little bit of a Super Bowl edition. I mixed them up. I got a few. I think I got two 49ers players, a couple Chiefs players. But are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
All right, I'm going to start you off with an easy one. Get you warmed up. Get your brain moving a little bit.
If I don't get this, it's going to be real embarrassing.
It's going to be real embarrassing. Where'd Patrick Mahomes go to college?
Texas Tech.
With
Cliff Kingsbury, right?
He did indeed.
Yep.
Now
I just remember that because of the Texas Tech Oklahoma game.
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield versus Patrick Mahomes. It was like
that was
crazy.
That was an unknown Mahomes too.
Yeah, no one knew anything about him.
Yeah,
it's like who's this number 15 for Texas Tech?
Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, hold on. Can we talk about Patrick Mahomes for a second? Did you see? I think I sent it to you. The picture of him where he was like, he looked fat.
Oh yes. Can we talk about fat Patrick Mahomes? The dude has a major dad bod. He's the best player in the NFL.
That's peak male performance. That's your current GOAT right now.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
That's crazy.
It was like, it makes a lot of people be like, yeah, I could play quarterback too.
Yeah, well, warm up the old cannon.
Throw the old pick, get around with the boys.
Yep. The Turkey Bowl, man. It's like an NFL tryouts now.
He's still playing in the Turkey Bowl, probably, is what it feels like. All right, my next player I have, we talked about him a little bit, Rashee Rice. Where'd he go to school at?
Rashee Rice. Ooh, I feel like it was like an unknown. I think it was.
I
feel like it's like a Temple or like an SMU. Am I close?
You're close.
I knew it. Is it around that area? Like in Texas? Is it in Texas?
Yeah.
SMU, Temple. I'll be honest, I'm blanking. It's like Liberty? I don't know.
Is that your final guess?
Yeah, sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to give you some help and say that's not your final guess.
Okay.
But you might have already said it.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it? Wait, was it SM? No, it was Temple, right?
Is that your
Temple?
final guess?
Yeah.
It was SMU.
No.
You said Temple SMU. I was like,
I knew it was like a small Texas school. I could have sworn. But dang it.
so you're 1 for 2 right now.
Yeah, 1.5. 1.5.
No.
Wow, okay. Well,
I'm not even giving you half. I helped you.
that's true. But I knew it was one of those.
So this one I knew because I know stuff.
Okay.
Because I'm smart.
All right.
Where did George Karlaftis go?
George Karlaftis. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I have no clue. I don't even have a guess.
I'll give you a hint. Big Ten.
Illinois?
Final guess?
Yeah.
Purdue.
Dang it. Yeah, I wasn't going to get that one. I should have probably known that one.
You're not an Indiana guy like me.
No, I'm not. I hardly ever watch Indiana or Purdue.
I think he went to Carroll.
Carroll, Indiana?
Carroll High School.
Really? Is that by where you are?
No, it's by where we're at right now, dude.
Oh, really?
That's where Coach Abs used to coach.
Oh, hey, shout out Coach Abs, our football coach.
Shout out New Heights too. I mean,
Yeah.
we've shouted them out
Now
every episode.
And now that we're shouting out,
I'm
might
gonna
as well shout them out.
I'm gonna start tagging them in these. George Karlaftis High School. No, he did not. He went to West Lafayette.
Oh,
There is a player on the Chiefs that went to
really?
Carroll. Yeah, because they posted something on Twitter, and I was like, "That's actually crazy."
That's in Fort Wayne, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now, the last Chiefs player I have is the kicker, Harrison Butker.
Oh,
Where did Harrison Butker go to
come
school?
on. Let me think.
You're at 1 for 3 right now.
1 for 3. Ooh, do I got 4 or 5? This is my last one.
You have 2 more.
Okay. So I can recover.
You could get 60. You could get a D.
Is he Harrison Butker?
Well,
Is he-
no, you could get
Yeah, I could get a B.
Yeah, you could get a B.
Is it ACC?
It is.
Harrison Butker. Okay. I have the feeling it's gonna be like I'm gonna go NC State.
Final guess?
Yeah.
Georgia Tech.
Dang it. At least I know like the vicinity. I know like where they could have played. I narrowed it down a little bit.
What do you mean?
I just narrowed it down. I know the conferences.
All right. Now we're going to go to the 49ers. Well, I only got 2 for the 49ers.
Okay.
But where did Trent Williams go?
Trent Williams. Oh, the O lineman. Man, you're really making me look silly today. Trent Williams. Was he in the SEC?
No.
Was it the Big Ten?
No.
I don't even know.
Big 12.
Big 12, really? I did not know that.
I didn't know this.
I'll go Oklahoma State.
Is that your final guess?
Yeah, that's my final guess.
So close. You went to Oklahoma.
No!
I did not know that.
When
I saw that, I was
either,
like,
actually.
did they really? I was thinking like Georgia or like something like that.
Like a place that breeds offensive linemen.
Right. Like I would honestly thought of like freaking Iowa before
Yeah.
before Oklahoma.
That's kind of where I was going. I was like Big Ten, like Iowa or something. But
The last one,
all right. I'm hoping I
probably
can
my
get this
favorite
one.
player right now that's like playing the Super Bowl, Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk. Oh, Arizona State, right?
He did indeed.
Yes.
You went 2 for 6.
2.5.
No.
Finished it on a high note, though. That was a good ending.
Good job, James. I think you did about as poor as last time.
Well, the effort was there. At least I knew Brandon Ayuk. I don't feel bad about not knowing Trent Williams. It's tough to know.
Yeah, that was one. That was like a tough one. Like, you could probably ask this as a trivia question somewhere. Be like, yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
People probably just thought Trent Williams just showed up in the NFL one day.
He could have. He probably could have. They wouldn't even notice. They'd be like, he's a grown man. He'll be all right. All right, so we're moving on to some Super Bowl picks, some predictions. Give us who you think's going to win. A score prediction for us.
So I got the 49ers in this game.
Okay.
I have 2 reasons behind that. One, they got to get their get back. You got to split the series. You can't let the Chiefs beat you twice in the big game. They got the weapons they need. They got everything they need to get there, like to win it. It's just a matter of can they execute. And number 2, because I don't want to hear every Taylor Swift fan say how it was the perfect ending, and I don't want to see Travis Kelce like propose to her on the 50-yard line, and then it starts turning into High School Musical or something. I don't want to see that. That's not what I want to see.
If they win, it'll definitely be a movie.
Oh, it's gonna turn into like a documentary.
Yeah. How swift.
And we're have to see
the NFL.
we're to see Patrick Mahomes' wife.
Yep. And Jackson Mahomes too.
Oh yeah, they're just gonna talk about it for forever.
You know who we won't be seeing? His father, because he's in jail.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But my score prediction, we got the over under at 47.5. I'm gonna stick with the under. I'm thinking 21-23.
21-23. Okay. That's not too bad. So you think a tight battle?
Mm-hmm.
But okay. I don't know. For my score, it's going to be tough for my score, but for I got
24-20. 24-20.
24-20.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a pretty common score. I was going to say 23-21. That's kind of hard to get. But
yeah, that's a lot of field goals for them to win. I think they're going to score a couple tutties.
Yeah. I got the Chiefs.
Really?
I've been betting against them this entire postseason, you know. I can't if I bet against them again, I'm afraid they're going to win it all.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want that. So I'm going to have to bet. I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs. I think Patrick Mahomes, he's going to do what he takes to win. He's like the Tom Brady. We hate him. Everyone hates him. Everyone wants him to lose, but he loves being hated.
Yeah.
And him and Kelsey kind of have a vengeance for being hated now. They're kind of enjoying the villain role. Yeah. So I think they're going to pull it out. But I think the score, I think it's going to be over, to be honest.
It could go either way. I agree.
I think it won't be a super high scoring game, but I'm thinking like almost pretty similar to the game before, like in the Super Bowl before, like a 33-23 or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. 10-point game. Somehow, I think the defense for the Chiefs is just going to play out of their mind. I just have a feeling that they're going to go crazy and they're kind of going to lock up and they're going to pull one out. But that's what I got.
Yeah. I think it should be a good game overall. It's got all the hype it needs, and it should be a good one. But
for sure.
But yeah, you got anything else before we close?
Not really. I feel like we covered most of it.
Yeah.
Nice little Super Bowl edition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the next week, we have an idea in mind, a couple ideas, but yeah, I think the transition here is going to be just kind of for funsies until college basketball starts kicking back up, like in March Madness.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, thanks, James, for another episode.
Yep, no problem. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to the Super Bowl, and we'll see you guys next time.